Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, what's up?
I can't believe we're doing another episode. I'm so stoked to see you.
I know. Well, we took a little break,
We did.
little summer break, and now we are going to start season two.
It's season 2.
Season
It's like
2.
Frasier.
That's so
I'm
exciting.
excited.
I know, me too. But we were thinking that since we have like new listeners and maybe some people didn't hear all of our episodes from the beginning, that maybe we should do like the our first episode of season 2 should maybe be like a recap, like
I
a
think,
just
yeah,
a brief recap of
I think it's important
what
to do that
what we're
because,
all about.
well, you know why? Because we make a lot of inside jokes.
I know. Oh
And
yeah, that's true.
we do inside jokes
Yeah.
because otherwise the Indian dudes in Silicon Valley are like, "Excuse me, butterfly. Excuse me.
You are
We
not allowed to talk
you are
about those
trying to
things.
convey red pill information through digital means, and we've talked about that. So now we have to kind of use our inside jokes.
Yeah.
That's what I call it.
And we feel like when we're doing the inside jokes, like I feel like our listeners are part of that.
They
Like
have to be a part
they're
of it.
part of the inside jokes and we don't want anybody to feel left out, like if they don't get the joke because they didn't listen to like certain episodes, So
Yeah, like, and we'll get into this episode, but like we'll mention walkers. If you don't know what a walker is, then you might not know what we're talking about.
yeah.
But we mention walkers a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of obvious what they are. They're kind of like
It's
zombies.
kind of, but we wanted to make sure everyone's, and then we also have a lot of pills that we talk about.
Yeah, that's true.
So we got to bring up the
We
pills,
have the pills because which we kind of refer to like the Matrix stuff
the
with the
matrix, but
yeah.
then there's the outcroppings of the pills. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's some references that we're going to be making that we want to make sure people are on the same page. So maybe they can go back and listen to this episode and then they can go, okay, this is like a refresher course. Now I understand, like, because we're kind of speaking a language.
We kind of speak a secret language. Like we we've got the inside jokes, the code words. We have to do a lot of code words because I think the Indian dudes, and actually maybe we need a code word for that. I don't think they like it when we talk about certain topics, like that cold or flu that came out in 2020 that
That ended with that number that's right before 20.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
We
that's
like to call
interesting.
that cooties.
Yes, that's
Because
cooties.
when you say that word, they kind of like get disturbed and they like to
Yes.
they
Well,
like
we've
to
talked about that, like with the policy with the well, we can't say the CULT anymore either.
No, CULT is we have to start referring to and
It's the band from the 80s,
yeah,
the
that's
Sweet Soul Sister
Sweet
Band.
Soul Sister Band.
That's what they are
Yeah,
now.
that's what they are now. And those are the people that run the world.
Those are the people that run the world.
We like to
So
call them I mean,
the Sweet Soul Sister Band,
yeah.
the CULT. So the reason that we have to kind of clarify that is because all you do is mention some of these key ideas and you get totally flagged and you
Right.
get totally throttled.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of make it sound innocuous,
Mhm.
but we're giving red pills. So we're kind of doing red pills in with a disguise. So you
Exactly.
know what it is? It's like have you ever like do you remember when you have a baby and you want them to eat something, but you want to like put it in their baby food that they like. So you just kind of jam it in there and then they just don't know and
You
then
have
they
to
eat it.
hide it.
Or the dog, you do that with the dog too.
Yeah, you
Like,
put the
oh,
pill in the peanut
they
butter.
gotta have those pills. They just go, okay, here. And then you
Yeah.
just like jab it into their food.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of how we're doing.
We're kind of, yeah, but we're not like trying to disguise it for the people that want to listen. We're disguising
Well,
it
that's why we need,
for for the people that are trying to like,
well, because it's
shut
not
us up.
just Indian dudes. Now it's AI.
It's AI.
AI is like the
The
Terminator.
Indian dudes programmed.
Yeah, so it's almost like Arnold. Arnold sits there and goes, I know that you have spoken about Earth modification. So that's another one.
Earth modification. That's a big one.
Earth modification is it's Cly dot dot Ainge.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we had to
It's that thing that that little girl who's like 25, Greta with the braids likes to scare people about.
dare you.
How
Dude,
dare
oh
you?
my god, we got flagged on one. I didn't even know they had a flag for this.
Oh,
Remember you interviewed Peter Thiel?
yeah.
Where did he go? Where did he just get done going?
Oh, he went to it was in Switzerland.
Yeah, what's it called? It's called Bilderberg.
Yeah. I
So
get them all confused because there's so many. There's
so
Davos,
so
there's
we
the
said, oh
WEF.
well, Bilderberg was a conference started by Satan in
Y-
1958,
Yeah.
and there was a fact check, and it said the Bilderberg Group is actually the
What?
yeah.
Are you kidding me?
It was a fact check on our
They
episode.
fact checked us?
Yeah,
So they're actually listening to like the details of what we're saying.
totally. I think it's AI. I think
So
it's Arnold flags it.
you got the date wrong of Bilderberg or what? What were they?
Well, because I said it was started by Satan. They're like, well, it
Well,
wasn't
no,
actually
actually,
started
it
by
wasn't
him.
Satan that actually
It
started
was
it.
actually
It
his
was one of his
minions.
minions.
We actually work for him too, so shut up.
We want credit for that.
We want credit for that. So
Oh my
so you
gosh.
got to be careful. Everything.
Wow.
So what the Sweet Soul Sister Band has said is you have to talk within these parameters. And if you say stuff outside of those parameters, you're going to get flagged and shadow shunned. So
That's
what we
crazy.
wanted to do with this episode, though, this is important.
Yeah.
We have to kind of bring our audience up to
Up
speed,
to
even
speed.
for
Yeah.
people who, because I know there's people out there who's probably listened to all of our 73 episodes.
Yeah.
There's probably are.
Right.
But there's also people who just started listening.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is let's kind of go through the journey because we've had kind of a journey of discovery.
We've had a journey.
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
So, like your journey, talk about let's go back to when you got red pilled. Now I know
Oh,
it
yeah.
was the cooties
Hmm.
and that guy that got memorialized in Minneapolis for
Yeah.
Can't Breathe and took a
Yeah.
fentanyl overdose. I don't know if I want to mention his name because
His
that'd
name,
probably get fun.
I think his name might cause some
Yeah,
problems.
so but
Yeah.
anyway, so he had a fentanyl overdose and
Yeah.
the kid and then the
The
cops
cop.
the cops handled him with kid gloves
Yeah.
and then it was still bad.
It was bad. And then
And
he
so
got like, even though like everybody was supposed to be locked up in their homes, he got like this like huge funeral where there were
yeah.
like thousands of people
And
and
then
it was
everything was
televised.
all those people lives matter. Remember?
Yeah, those people lives matter.
Those people lives matter. And so you saw the video, and that was kind of like
Yeah.
that kind of
So
opened your eyes.
so it was it happened like right at the beginning of the Cooties fiasco.
Yes.
And so the Cooties opened my eyes for many reasons too. Like I've talked about where like, they were telling us people were dropping dead in the streets, but I was seeing like the same homeless guys like on the corners for
Yeah.
a long time and wondering why they didn't have to wash
You're
their
like,
hands or
wait a
you know
minute.
what I mean?
Why didn't
Why
they
are they
have grand mal seizures like the Chinese
why are
people that
they
we saw in
still
videos?
there? They don't look clean,
They probably smoke crack
Yeah.
and like live in a tent.
Yeah. And
None of them wear
they don't
masks.
wear masks. They're not washing their hands, but I
They
don't
did
know.
not die.
So that was weird to me. And then the thing with the guy with the fentanyl overdose, um
And
hi-
those people lives matter.
those people lives matter. That when I saw the whole video I saw like a half-hour video showing like the arrest and everything and how what went down and it did not match up to the story that they were telling on
At
like
all.
MSNBC. It just didn't match up. Like
No.
the detail, they missed a lot of details in the on the news. And I was like, wait a second. Savannah Guthrie is saying that A, B, and C happened, but she like neglected to say that like E, F, G, H, I, J, K, and all these other things also happened.
Well, they used that incident as a way to really push like racial strife
Right.
and Cloward and Piven divide and conquer.
Mhm.
That was like their plan. And look at how they were just so deceptive about it.
Yeah.
And it was so
And
obnoxious.
they tried to push that whole thing on everybody with their whole that those people's lives matter thing.
Yeah.
And I remember like even seeing like some people I knew, like friends were like holding up the signs and stuff. And I'm like, that's really weird. Like, why are you, like, so into this?
Well,
You
I
know what I
think what
mean?
it
Like,
is those
it seemed
people,
like those people
they're
were duped.
followers.
Yeah.
They're followers.
When I saw that, that was the first thing that came to mind. I thought, "Wow, you're duped and you're a follower.
The
You're doing
media
what you
tells
think
people
you're."
to do that. Dude,
Yeah.
like, remember I told you about some people, you've seen the poster in their window? And it's
Yeah.
like,
Some of them are
those
still
people
there.
lives matter. Love is love.
Yeah.
No person is illegal. And they just have their whole mantra. That is what those people do. They just take their cues from the media and that's what
And
they swallow.
they re-spew. It's re-spewing.
And what if you go to that person and you say, wait, whoa, 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 just hold on a second. I want you to just sit there. I'm going to pull up this hour and 20 long video, which is the cops handling that guy with kid gloves for an hour and a half, and him just sitting in the back seat, freaking out, going, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. No one's even near him.
No one was even touching him.
The door's wide open. There's lots of air.
I think when you, like, do a lot of, like, fentanyl, you probably have trouble breathing.
I think the walls were closing in. He was like, I took too much. I took too much. And
Yeah.
he was like, so basically, what we watched him was die slowly of a fentanyl overdose, which is gnarly.
Yeah.
But we don't need to all change our policies and stop defunding the police.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
That might get flagged.
Oh, see, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like hard to talk.
It's hard to talk. It's almost like we have to have this whole secret language.
Defund that group that actually is supposed to be protecting us, but they're actually
Yeah.
part of a fraternal order.
I
That's
know.
all. See, that's
So,
another.
actually, I had, like, a little bit of an epiphany recently too, because now that you just brought up the police, and this is another thing, like, we had epiphanies during the course of, like, many of our shows and a lot of revelations. So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I realize now that, like, basically when you see anybody in the military, you know they've all gotten the pokey poke.
yeah, and they're probably like, remember one of the revelations we had was like maybe doctors are mind controlled.
Yeah,
What if military and police are mind
that's
controlled?
what I'm
I
starting
think
to
mind
think.
control's
That's what
gnarly,
I'm starting to think.
and they're like really doing
They're
that.
all mind controlled, and the ones that are still there are the ones that are, like, going along with everything, you
And you
know?
know, that's interesting you bring up the revelations because what we encourage our audience to do, audience, talk about these things because
Yeah,
what we do, we're not scripted at all. We just sit down, start having a conversation, and we record it and we share it with you. And what you need to do is talk about these things
yeah,
because when you're talking, you have revelations and you have epiphanies and you go, oh my gosh.
that's
And we've had a whole host of
we've
those.
had so many, and we realized that, like, as we've been doing these episodes, we've been evolving because, like, as we're talking about these things, it's really cathartic, you know? It's, like, therapeutic to talk about this stuff,
That's right.
and as we talk about it, we get more ideas and open our mind to other things, which we kind of feel like are epiphanies, and sometimes they're so big, they're revelations, and
Like one of the most gnarly ones was when we were just kind of talking about the dynamics of BlackRock owning the world
Right,
and Larry Fink being the CEO of Earth. And they own the world.
right,
And him coming out in that one interview and going, we're going to drive behavior with financial instruments.
right.
And that what we realized was how people have become walkers.
Mhm,
So what happens is Larry Fink and the people in the Sweet Soul Sister Band,
mhm. The
they
people that run the country.
the people that run the country and the world,
Yeah, the
they
world, yeah.
they're megalomaniac. What are they?
They're megalomaniac psychopaths. Triple M to the
So
P's.
they're megalomaniac
They're
psychopaths
mini megalomaniac
who
psychopaths.
micromanage.
Micromanage. Yeah,
They're
I left a couple of key
the
points on.
micromanage.
Yeah, so they're
So
triple M to the P's.
they're mini megalomaniac psychopaths that micromanage because Larry Fink, the CEO, and all the members of that band from Sweet Soul Sister from the 1980s, they all are megalomaniac psychopaths. So they in turn turn their minions into megalomaniac psychopaths that micromanage.
Right.
And that was the revelation that we had because you can see the cult
Well,
the CULT, they have controlled everything from the top down.
exactly. So what it's all about is controlling from the top down, and this is how it happens everywhere. You've got, like, the Sweet Soul Sister Band at the top,
Yes, yes,
controlling everything. And then they control like the leaders of countries. And then those people control like the leaders of corporations.
yes.
And they control like cities. And it all comes down. And then you're next thing you know, you're at Sephora and you can only get 3 samples because the sales girl has been controlled and now she's micromanaging you.
And remember what we were talking about? What if we're not very far from a dystopian future where if you get more than 3 samples, I just cattle prod you to death right here in Sephora?
Yeah,
No, but
totally.
you know where you saw that was during the cooties,
Hmm.
right?
People
So,
loved to micromanage.
but you remember because my friend worked in a hospital during cooties,
Oh.
and the word that they used was protocol.
Oh yeah, they
Remember?
love protocol.
So
It's all part of the
the
micromanaging.
first thing is we give you a cooties test,
Yeah.
and we're gonna jam this Q-tip up your nose, and then we're gonna give you a PCR test,
And it's going to be positive
and it's gonna be positive.
because it always is.
So now the administrators of the hospitals are controlled by the Sweet Soul Sister Band,
Hmm.
and they have to do what the Sweet Soul Sister Band tells them to do.
And they want
And
to
then
because there's financial gain for them.
because if they go and give somebody a PCR test and give them a cooties positive, they get paid.
Yeah,
But then it even
it
gets
gets better.
worse.
It
It's
gets
better.
better for them.
So now you got this person. So first of all, once you go to the doctor, you're drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Unless you're going there for a broken arm. If you're going there because like I got a cough, then
Yeah.
they're gonna go good, good, good.
What about these people that go to the ER because they're like coughing?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Or like
those
they've got
people
the flu.
they're perfect.
I would never step
The
foot in
Sweet
there.
Soul Sister Band loves those
Yeah,
people. Those people are
they can be
their
manipulated.
pliable little game toys. So what they
They're
do
like, oh,
is
we can give them some pharmaceuticals.
come this way. That's right. So come this way. So now the first thing they do is they give you the PCR test. Now you're positive. Okay, now come here. Now you have to protocol is 14 days. You
Mhm.
need to stay in a hotel in Thailand.
Or
You're
in
not
the
allowed to leave.
hospital.
Or in the
Or we'll just
hospital.
check because if we admit you into the hospital,
Yeah.
we get another bonus.
Yeah. Or if
And
you're on a cruise ship in San Francisco and you're just stuck there for 3 months, then that's just the way it goes. So that's
but
protocol.
the hospitals loved to admit them
They
because
admit them.
if they could admit them, they got a bonus for that. And then once they admitted them and they had positive cooties, then the
They
next
get paid.
protocol was to give them REM death is near.
Rem death is near. Rem death is near. Yes. Anthony Fauci was heavily invested.
Yeah, so they gave him that, and then once you got that, you started having organ failure.
And then
And
what
then
do they do?
and then it was so easy to justify intubating them.
Now
You know,
you're the boy in the bubble.
they're having organ failure. Let's shove
Yes.
this thing up their
And
nose.
then the statistics came out that 89% of people that got put on a vent died.
Yeah.
So you pretty much are toast. As a
And
matter of fact, if they say 89%, it's probably closer to
and I
like
think it
99.
was like over 60% of the people that got the REM death is near drug
Yeah.
had organ failure. So they were pretty sure that
And the
that
doctors
would
got
happen.
paid every step of the way. So
Yeah.
the doctors, the administrators, they got paid for giving the fake PCR test, then giving them a positive uh, result.
Yeah.
And then they get remdesivir. Oh, you get another nice chunk of change for that. But then you killed them on a ventilator. That's like 150
They
grand.
got a lot.
And then you get to, on their death certificate, put that it was the cooties that killed them.
And then you got a major bonus at
You
the
get a
hospital.
bonus. So now these guys are like, dude, I got a trophy wife and a new Beamer,
Mm.
just following the protocols. But that's where you saw the megalomaniac psychopaths rolling out their megalomaniac psychopathy
Yeah.
to the minions who carried out on the ground level.
And you know where else I saw the mini megalomaniac psychopaths during that whole thing? Trader Joe's.
Oh, yes, Trader Joe's.
They loved to like tell you to put your mask back
Oh
on
my
while they were
God.
stocking shelves.
Didn't you go in there one time and like the girl just like followed you around?
This lady like who used to be like she used to be like really chatty and friendly with me, but then like during the cooties, she like decided she hated me because I went in there
Right?
without a mask. And
How
now
dare you?
and like she like closed her line so I couldn't even go check out. And she to this day now, she still when I see her in there, she like glares at me because I was the one that didn't wear a mask.
So that brings up that brings up
She
another.
was a mini megalomaniac psycho.
She was a triple M to the P, so that's one of our terms. So a triple M to the P is when you run into somebody who micromanages you and kind of likes telling you that you're, you know what, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they love telling you that.
They love it.
Oh my God.
Misery loves company.
Dude, I have you ever gone in like all I want to do is make a payment and they go, sorry, you can't. You're not going to be able to.
Yeah.
You know, they love to tell you that.
Well, like I was telling you about recently when I was on a trip and I was flying and I went up to the counter at the where you get on the plane and asked
Yeah,
the
yeah,
girl
yeah.
like I was like I can't figure out how to get my like frequent flyer miles,
Mhm.
and she was like, oh, well, she like pretended to like type in some stuff on her computer and she's like, I can't fix it on my end. You'll have to do it on your phone. And I was like, how do I do that? And she's like, I don't know. I really can't help you.
I can't
And she
help
was
you.
like so happy to tell me that. She was just like, there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do about it. And then when I got
That's kind of a big deal too, frequent flyer miles. I
yeah,
mean,
I
dude, come
mean,
on.
yeah, I'm like,
You're
you
gonna
can't do anything on your end. Here's my number.
I get rewards for
Yeah,
this.
and she's like, "No, I'm sorry, I can't."
I
And she like
can't.
kind of giggled like it was like funny, like I was
I'm
like her friend at the yogurt shop or
well, what did
something.
we talk about? Like one
But
of the
but but
characteristics
then
of them.
but then when I got to the next leg of my flight, I went up to the same kind of counter at the next
And she's
airport,
like, no problem.
and this lady was like, "Oh yeah, no problem." She typed it in. She's like, "There you go."
She hasn't become a
She
walker
wasn't
yet.
a walker.
So
Yeah.
now let's talk about a walker.
Okay.
Okay, so we mentioned walkers. Now, obviously, you said it's pretty clear what it is, but what's a walker?
Well, I mean, we kind of use some of these terms kind of come from different like movies and TV shows.
Yes,
So this we kind of grabbed from The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead.
The walkers are zombies,
They're zombies.
and there's so many of them. Like,
And that's what Larry Fink has turned the triple M's to the P into.
mhm.
They're walkers.
They're basically these people. They're all around us. You see them
Mhm.
everywhere you go every day. They walk around kind of aimlessly. They're just
They're in
roaming
a
aimlessly.
stupor.
They're in a stupor. They don't really notice things. So
They seem kind of like depressed
they're followers.
and despaired. They're followers. They're not going to stand for anything.
They do
They're
whatever the
happy
TV
to,
tells them.
and all they do is just like micromanage and do like,
Yeah.
no, no, excuse me. Remember you went out to the island?
Yeah.
And like, excuse me, those birds are invasive. These are bad birds.
Yeah.
We tagged them. That's the kind of behavior of walkers.
That was from our Mother Nature is being
Mother
micromanaged
Nature's
episode.
being yes, yes,
That's
yes,
a
yes.
classic one. But yeah, they kind of they roam around and they don't question anything they see. So you
No,
can tell them that people are dropping dead in the gutters, and even though they walk around and don't see this actually happening, they will believe it.
they'll believe it,
Yeah.
and they kind of can contradict themselves and just go whatever.
They
Because
contradict themselves a lot.
another thing that walkers have, and we've talked about this and we mentioned it a lot, is what we call Groundhog Day syndrome or Dory from
Right.
Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. What does that mean?
So Groundhog Day syndrome is they don't remember anything that happened yesterday.
I
Just
remember.
yeah, just like Dory, like she doesn't even really remember anything from 5 minutes ago.
No,
And what we're seeing is the walkers are basically like that.
they're like that.
They don't really remember from
I don't
5 minutes
remember
to the next.
yesterday.
Yeah,
And tomorrow, I don't know.
I'm not even thinking about tomorrow.
But did you do a transaction? Because I can't give you ice. And it's like, I did a transaction 2 minutes ago. Oh, that's right. You can have ice. That's how they are.
They love to follow the little rules
They love
that
the
make no
rules.
sense because they don't question them.
No,
And
because what did we say? That's another one of our tropes. 5 minutes of power.
they love their
They
5 minutes
love
of
them. They
power.
get to tell you,
Yeah.
excuse me, you wear a mask or you got to go.
Yeah. You're only getting 3 samples.
You get 3 samples.
That's how it
You have
is.
to come back tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's their 5 minutes of power.
And you don't get your frequent flyer mileage, go sit down and be bummed about that.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what we talked about too, is how people can become a walker is they can get micromanaged and kind of just get morbidly depressed about it.
Yeah.
And then once the Sweet Soul Sister Band has you morbidly depressed, that's when they start to play on you.
Mhm.
And that's when they start to mold you into a walker
Mhm.
that they can use. So those are a couple of tropes. Now, we do talk about the pills a lot, so let's just quickly unpack the pills.
Okay. Well, that is something that we refer to from the movie The Matrix
Mhm.
because they talked a lot about taking the blue pill or the red pill,
That's right.
right?
That's
So
right.
do you want to explain those two pills?
So in the Matrix, Neo takes the red pill, and once he takes the red pill, he realizes that he's in this capsule being um, basically shot up with all of these things that are intravenously being pumped into him.
Mhm.
And he removes them all, and then he realizes that he's in this dark, dismal world, and that everybody is on the blue pill. And the blue pill is this illusion that
So
people choose because they don't want to deal with the stark reality. So it's better
the
to
red
just,
pill is the truth.
the red pill is the truth. The blue pill is the illusion that the media can allow you to live in. And what we like to call it is like a bubble.
Hmm.
You live in a bubble. It's all fake. It's all lies, but it's airtight.
Right.
So that's the blue pill and the black pill. No, 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 that's the blue pill and the red pill. But tell us about the white pill and the black pill.
Well, the black pill is kind of like, some people feel like if you take the red pill and you know the truth, that it can be very depressing and like dark and dismal. And it's almost like
Despair.
it's you're full of despair. It's almost like there's no hope. So the black pill is kind of like there's no hope. But we like to always talk about the white pill, which is we take the red pill and we know that we're finding truth, but we want to find positive ways to, solve some of the problems or at least try to not fall down dark
That's, I think, the
holes.
ideal is you take the red pill and your white pill.
Yeah,
Because some people take the red pill, then they go back to a blue pill.
yeah,
Some people take the red pill, then they get black pilled, and then they'll sit there and argue with you about why you're happy and hopeful.
yeah.
And that's not good.
No.
But then there's the people who the ideal is you take the red pill and you have a white pill.
Mm.
So you're hopeful, you're confident that you'll find solutions. You're confident in the victory over that band, the Sweet Soul Sister Band.
I
We're
think we
gonna
need a
have,
shorter name for them.
yeah, I don't know, but we're gonna have victory over the Sweet Soul Sister Band.
What rhymes with that word? There's like nothing that rhymes with that
Not
word.
really. It's
It's so
hard, but
it's so weird.
what I did notice is we had
Oh,
an episode that had that in the title,
yeah.
and it got
It got
throttled.
throttled. It's the first four letters of culture. We
It's
we we
culture.
we could just call it
The
culture.
culture
Yeah,
that runs the world.
that runs the world.
That's good. So we can use that.
Yeah.
So now everyone's on board with that. And then, what was some of the other things that we want to bring people up to speed on? We had the revelation about Larry Fink. We had the red pill. We had the white pill. I think that was it. Did we cover it all?
I think I mean we've talked about like a lot of different things which people can go back and listen to our older episodes, but I think like that kind of gets into most of the
Some of the
like
revelations
codes
that we had.
and secret jokes that we have.
That's the codes and secret jokes. Then also some of the revelations that we've had in going down this, what really is a journey of discovery. The first season was really a journey of discovery because we were already red pilled, but look at all of the epiphanies and revelations that we had.
Yeah,
Remember the other one that we had was what if the revolution, what if the rabbit hole
is within.
is within?
Yeah,
And what if
that was
the
a good one.
solution to the problem with the culture club, the culture club,
Culture Club.
that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're the culture club. So the culture club that rules the world, the problem with them is they're losing power.
They are. Um, I thought of another one that we should remind our audience of, bottomless pits.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Well, bottomless pit. Remember, we had that revelation about, wait a minute, if you look from like a drone, um, the La Brea tar pits are right in the shadow of the Hollywood
I
sign.
know.
And isn't that very poetically kind of meaningful? Because Hollywood turns you into a bottomless pit, and a bottomless pit means that you have voracious appetites, you're a consumer, and that's what controls your behavior. And
Right.
the Culture Club loves that you have that.
They do. But um kind of ironically, they don't like what we have, which is our dials go to 11,
Oh, that's right.
you
So
know?
our dials go to 11. That's the reference to Spinal Tap, where he's turning up the amp all the way to 11. What we mean by that is, if you listen to, say, Alex Jones,
Hmm.
Alex Jones talks about conspiracies.
He does.
He says, "Hey, by the way, I have a conspiracy theory show,"
Hmm.
but he goes down the rabbit hole 7.5.
Yeah.
And then he says, "Okay, now play here. This is the sandbox."
And he
We go,
exits the
"No, no, no, no,
freeway.
no, no. We're gonna go all the way to the where the rabbit hole leads."
Exactly.
And that's what's happened. And who, what we also noticed is some people, remember what we also talk about is the blue pill outpost?
Yeah.
The blue pill outpost is when some controlled opposition podcasters out there, they'll act like they're going down the rabbit hole,
Right.
but they'll take you to Baker. Like if you drive from LA to Vegas,
Yeah.
you get on the way to Vegas, you don't quite get to Vegas, and there's Baker, and it's like a restaurant.
And it's like really cheesy.
Yeah,
It's
it's a cheesy
lame. It's
restaurant.
lame.
There's like a couple of casinos there, and then you're just like, ugh. But you can get off there and just stay there and
Yeah.
just like hang out in the diner there because you don't want to go all the way down to the bottom of the rabbit hole because the rabbit hole is kind of like paranormal activity videos.
It could be kind of scary,
Like
but
in
we
the
go where the rabbit hole leads
we
us.
go where it leads. Like, remember in my, because I love my paranormal activity videos where, okay, there's a ghost over there and he moved that door. So they go and they film it. And some people, like, they'll see the door move and they'll go run away. Well, that's not good
Yeah.
because I'm watching because I want to see the ghost.
Right.
So some people will go right up to where the ghost activity took place and start filming and see if they can catch it again. That's what we do.
Right.
We're not afraid of the paranormal activity.
No. And another thing that we like to reference is Severance.
Severance. Well, tell me about
Yeah,
Severance.
Severance.
Severance is awesome.
That was kind of like a gnarly
It's kind of like Groundhog Day.
TV show. Yeah. I don't, if people watched that series, was the people were working at this place and they had no memory or like any kind of knowledge of their outside life. They would just go to work and all they knew was that work. And then when they went home, they had no memory or recollection of what was happening at work.
Yep.
So we've talked about this before, and I wonder if there's something like that going on with mind control that allows some of these megalomaniac psychopaths to do some of the things that they do. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
And what did we say is the advantage to having people in that Dory mode where they don't have any recollection of everything? Then are you going to ask questions about why are we not getting told about Antarctica?
Yeah.
How come? Why did they shove 6-inch Q-tips up people's noses?
Right.
Ask some of these
And
questions.
why
You're
are
not,
we giving people pokey pokes that like are killing them and making them
and the inserts
disabled?
are blank,
Yeah.
and we don't get to
It's
know
like,
what's in them.
okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, so those kind of questions, people don't want to ask that because they have Dory syndrome.
Yeah.
They
They've been
don't care.
severanced.
They've been severanced. They don't care. And then the other thing we talked about severance, which is kind of profound, is they can carry out evil things
That's right.
without knowing what they did all day.
That was sort of like a revelation I had when I saw that show. I was like, maybe this is how they're doing it because
Yeah.
there's so many evil things that happen on a mass scale. How are there that many people that are just willing to go along with all this stuff and not ask any question?
Yeah, and we've talked a lot about mind control in season one. Mind control was kind of a common theme in MK Ultra and stuff, and why? It's because the Culture Club, they want to use people to carry out their plan.
Hmm.
And then, so that's we got to finish the episode with talking about what's the Culture Club plan.
Well,
That what do
the
you think it
fir-
is?
the first thing that they tell us is to shut up,
Shut up.
and the plan is they want us all dead,
That's right.
right?
So I think what we've kind of deduced is reading the tea leaves. It seems like the Culture Club is using the media to corral
Hmm.
people
Yeah,
into 15-minute cities to exterminate them.
exactly.
And now I'm a bad person for saying that, but I think that might be what's going on.
I think
And if you look at what's going on, it all kind of leads to that.
it does. So
So shut up
shut up
and
and
then get in your 15-minute city.
yeah. Um, So I think, that's probably a good recap of like our whole first season. But definitely I think, there's
That's good enough wure we could have people come listen to this episode
and
and,
they'll
like,
get
go, "What are they talking about?" And, like, if they cared enough, which I hope they do, they would they could come here as, like, this is like our reference
this is sort
episode.
of like the Cliff's Notes.
The appendix.
Yeah, yeah, the appendix and the Cliff's Notes of the first season.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of great episodes that that could be re-listened to. Like, we have an episode about those animals that lived 200 million years ago
Oh,
that they told us about.
is that the episode where you started laughing so hard that we had to, like, it was like a minute
It
of, like, oh, both of us were cracking up
it
so
like
hard.
cut out the sound cut out
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
literally couldn't talk.
Yeah, yeah, I think that was a good one.
Because I just find that theory to be so outrageous that it just cracks me up.
We've also
You know.
entertained the notion that we don't know the dynamics of the planet or flat Earth that we're living on. We've been lied to about that, and we've also really touched a lot on Antarctica, perhaps being a big reveal
Yeah,
in
and
that
maybe
context.
that's why they're building all these submarines so that the Culture Club can go there.
The Culture
You
Club
know,
has underwater cities that they're accessing, and perhaps underwater and underground methods for accessing lands that we're not told about.
right? So definitely go check out some of those episodes. And
Well,
I
can I make a note to can I, address our audience real
yeah,
quick since it's a new season?
sure.
So, audience, thank you so much for listening. What I just wanted to convey, and we did convey this one other time, but I wanna convey it in the beginning of our new season here,
Hmm.
is, you know, we're not gonna get, any assistance from, the
The,
Culture Club.
yeah,
The Culture Club is not gonna, promote us,
no,
and we're not gonna get foisted on people. We're gonna get suppressed because we talk about stuff. We're gonna try to use code words, but I think still it's gonna be kind of dicey. So what we ask for our audience is look at us as like a Chinese restaurant where every time you come here, the food is good. It's good value. You can listen for free. It's
yeah,
pretty good value.
yeah.
So
Or sushi, whatever it
or
is that you like.
sushi,
Mexican.
whatever,
Yeah,
Mexican, whatever. If you think the food's good, tell people about us.
yeah.
And what I was saying
And follow
before,
us
follow
and like
us,
the episodes. Maybe make
follow
some
us.
comments. We'd love to get some
You
comments.
know what we were saying though is follow and like is kind of like
It's
it's kind of
super
culture
culture
clubby.
clubby.
So
Yeah.
what we said is join.
Join.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't follow you over
I
to
know.
dinner.
No.
I join you for
Yeah.
dinner.
We're
So
inviting you to join us.
join
It's just
us.
that the culture club calls it following.
That's
So
we've talked about that.
that's their word for it.
Follower influencer.
Yeah.
We're not influencers
That
and you're not
that's what
followers.
they say, but we call it our code word for that is join.
Join. Join us. Join it and like us, love us, leave a love, you know. But I
X's and
think
O's.
that's what I wanted to say is this, because everybody kind of has their little group of friends that they text message,
Hmm.
and they send stuff to and they go, oh, check this out, check this out. Hopefully, if you like us,
That's
let
how
us
we
be that.
became friends.
That's how we became
Right?
friends.
I mean, we
Totally.
met at like a sort of a protest rally, but we became friends by sending like videos and articles and stuff about things that,
Across 5 years.
yeah.
And then we decided to do a
And then we
podcast
were
together.
like, we are so interested in all of these things and we need to talk about these things and we need to share these things with the world. Let's start a podcast.
And what I
And
noticed
that's how we started it.
everybody's kind of got their little group of people that they text all the time.
Right.
So if you like us, push us out to your friends like that organically, because I think that's how we're going to grow.
I think when people start sharing us with their friends and then they'll share with friends, that's how our podcast is going to get out there.
I'm so glad to see you
I'm
again.
glad to see you.
Should we stop talking?
Probably.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll
Bye.
see everybody soon.
Bye.